by less than a point. Now Florin Popa, 20 years of age, on one of his self-proclaimed best events, parallel bars.
You know, he's only been on the national team for a year and a half. This is really a testing ground for these young Romanian gymnasts for the upcoming European Championships at the end of the month, and also for the World Championships next year.
Does that element very well. A lot of what he does is in combination. He doesn't stop, and he's hopeful that the judges give him what's called connection bonus. Some of them are a little bit tricky and could be up to the judge's discretion whether or not he's actually keeping the routine moving well enough for them to be considering one move done exactly after another without a hesitation.
When you say connection bonus, you mean smooth flow from one element to the next.
Exactly. There are many elements, the highest elements, the D's and the E's. If you combine them without a hesitation, you get an extra 1/10 or 2/10 of a point bonus.
Dao Sheng, 9.6 on his last rotation, so he's coming off his best event. China trying to hang on to the lead.
And hold your breath, folks. This could be one of the most radical things you've ever seen. There are a couple of people in the world who attempt this element, but very few look like he does when he performs it. You notice the extra mat there just for protection. Watch this right here. Kovacs with a full twist. Wow. He's not done.
What is this sport going to look like 10 years from now?
I tell you, it scares. Oh my! Oh, that is just so bad. I mean, he did the most difficult thing being done today in the world, and then he makes a mistake on a hard element, but not even in the same ballpark as a full twisting Kovacs. Big dismount. This guy, he does some really hard gymnastics.
Like you said earlier, Tim, it's hit or miss with the Chinese team.
Boy, they fly over the hurdles like an eagle in flight, and then they get to the last hurdle, and it's a stumble to the floor.
Is that amazing? He does that flip over the bar with an extra full twist. It's completely remarkable. Look at how high he is. He shot out of a cannon there, not only off the bar, but then throwing his body into the air. But this is where it all went a little bit wrong. He comes out of his pike a little too early, not enough speed to get over the bar, comes down onto the bar. That should be 5/10 of a point deduction right there.
Legs should have kept going over the top.
Exactly.
Oh, and he gets penalized after all that explosiveness.
Wow.
How unfortunate. 8.6 Florin Popa and 9.5 on the parallel bars.
I have to tell you, though, that was too low for the Chinese on high bar. That was too low.
And they have to count the score as well.
An opening for the United States, Liu Jia. And he's got the wounds, remember, on his arms, but that won't affect him here on high bar. They're a souvenir from the parallel bars.
You know, I talked with the Chinese before the competition and asked them what goes wrong, and we see it again right here. Now this is bad. This is like a rookie mistake right here. He is too good to make mistakes like this.
Now, let me ask both of you. You were here at this event last year. Is this deja vu? Is this China allowing the United States to go through the back door?
This isn't the first time we've seen China do this, even though this is an inexperienced team. We saw this happen to the Olympic team in '96.
Well, you know, like I said, we talked with them before the competition, and I asked them what happens. There's one mistake on the Chinese team, and they all seem to fall apart. And, you know, you would almost expect them to come back and say, no, that's not true. And they said, yeah, you're right.
No answers.
Only one rough moment on the day for Blaine Wilson on the vault.
I talked earlier about those 5/10 passes. We saw one from Yuki just a few minutes ago. Blaine will actually do 2 of them in a row. That's it. Come on.
It's a big chance for the United States in this meet right here.
No. Come on now. Now he'll do another 3 acrobatic element in a row. Very, very difficult. Oh, he did that well.
Come on now. Work. Work.
This also gives him some bonus tenths. This done in combination.
Good. Come on now.
Actually left a little bit of that flare sequence out. That'll cost him just a little bit.
Not done yet. Come on. Let's go, Blaine. Let's go, Blaine. Go big. Let's go. Take it home. Take it home. That's it. Come on now. Come on now.
Full twisting double somersault. His dismount. Hop forward, and boy, that looked like he stung his ankle a little bit as well.
That would make that the injury du jour for the United States, but Blaine Wilson has given the lead to the United States. They steal it from the crashing Chinese. Liu Jia, a 7.85.
Embarrassing.
Meanwhile, they feel the pressure now of Romania. Closing in, still in third, however. Blaine Wilson, 9.5, very important. So history repeats, sort of. It comes down to the final rotation for China. That means floor exercise.
Well, floor exercise is traditionally a very strong event for China, but as we've been seeing all day long, they're making mistakes, unnecessary mistakes. Now they're fighting for second.
Yeah, that's a dramatic change compared to what we thought was going to be their fate just a couple of rotations ago. Now, the United States on pommel horse.
Well, you know, they have a 1.3 lead going into the final rotation, and actually they're not bad on pommel horse. They're fairly strong. They can realistically fall 2 times and still come ahead of the Chinese.
And listening into the American huddle, they've been repeating their mantra throughout the day. Fight through it, and it's not over until the last man goes. That's the gymnastic equivalent of Yogi Berra's "It ain't over till it's over." We're back in Knoxville, where Elfie Schlegel is still trying to remember which episode it was that Yogi Berra said to Boo Boo, "It ain't over till it's over." So I'll continue with Tim Daggett. How about that, Tim? As we focus in on Gary Denk, and most importantly, the United States has grabbed the lead. This is the last rotation. It's a matter of holding on. Now, Gary has been sitting down for quite some time. This is only his second apparatus.
That's a very good point, and he's probably a little bit cold. And right off the bat, he's having some problems. Legs apart and hitting the horse. Whoa! He's way, way off and really just improvising at this point in time.
You know, this is sort of the equivalent to women's balance beam.
In a lot of ways, it really is. I think I've said it earlier in the broadcast. Things can be going fine, and all of a sudden you're just off of the pommel horse. Well, he didn't come off, but this is going to be a very low score. The tap of the horse right there. That struggle on the dismount.
Well, they're cheering all sorts of happy in the American team huddle, but...
Well, it was a great fight, actually, but going to be a very, very low score.
But, you know, that's what the Americans wanted to do, right, Tim? They want to fight through it when they have a problem. The lead for them is 1.3. Here's Liu Jia, who had that below 8, a 7.85 on the high bar just a few moments ago.
And actually, in training, he was beautiful on this routine. We'll see what happens today. Great mount. That was fantastic. That same 5/10 pass that we've seen from some of the other athletes so far. This is great. Nice combination. Earns him some bonus points, and then he just gives them right back to the judge.
You know what's amazing to me is we were talking to some of the Chinese athletes prior to the competition, and they actually said that you may not see any of these athletes on the 2000 Olympic team. It's quite possible. There's so much depth in China right now.
Well, I hate to say it, the way a lot of them have performed today, they're definitely not good enough. That's all there is to it. Full twist, look at
my legs hurt.
Twisting double back somersault, and it was skied. He had that easy.
Just doesn't know how to land.
You know, for their level of gymnastics ability, they compete so far below it. It's frustrating.
Gary Denk suffers through an 8.00. Liu Jia gets an 8.55. Boy, the